So, the way they get revenge is to try and destroy my album.
For decades, Michael Jackson wasn't just a pop star. He was the closest thing to royalty the music world ever crowned. Every move, every note, every whisper of his voice carried the weight of an empire built on genius, mystery, and impossible perfection. He revolutionized sound, dance, and spectacle, fusing pop, soul, and cinematic ambition into something no one had dared before. From Off the Wall to Thriller to Bad, Michael didn't just dominate charts, he redefined what fame itself could look like. The glove, the lean, the silence. Everything he touched became myth.
The winner is Michael Jackson.
But behind the soft voice and practiced smiles was a man haunted by perfection and fiercely protective of his throne. In a world obsessed with imitation, he noticed every rival, every critic, every artist who tried to step into his light, and when he felt disrespected, he never forgot. Before his passing in 2009, those close to him described private conversations, moments when Jackson allegedly vented about the artists he admired least, the people who, through jealousy, betrayal, or simple creative clash, earned a place on his hidden list. Some were legends, some were friends. All of them crossed the king of pop at the wrong time. So lace up your loafers and grab that sequin glove, because these are the 6 musicians Michael Jackson reportedly couldn't stand. And trust me, a few of these names will make your jaw drop. At number 6, Prince.
Temporary. Any rivalry between you and Mr. Jackson?
If there was ever a rivalry written in neon, it was Michael Jackson and Prince. 2 prodigies born months apart, both obsessed with control, both rewriting the rules of pop. One shimmered in purple, the other in white sequins. Together, they represented 2 halves of musical perfection, and they hated being compared. When Thriller made Jackson untouchable, Prince fired back with Purple Rain, refusing to play second to anyone. The competition was personal. Michael once challenged Prince to appear in the Bad music video, but Prince flat out refused. In later interviews, he joked, "That song wasn't bad, it was pathetic." Prince's refusal stung. Jackson reportedly told his team that Prince doesn't have the chops, and later mocked his eccentric behavior at industry parties. Yet underneath the feud was fascination. Quincy Jones once called them 2 geniuses trapped in the same decade, trying to breathe the same air. By the 2000s, Prince had mellowed, but Jackson never forgot the slights. When asked if they'd ever collaborate, he smiled and said softly, "Not in this lifetime." It was the fury of equals. At number 5 is Madonna.
This premiere, of course, she told the gay magazine The Advocate that given the chance, she would completely...
For a brief, surreal moment, Michael Jackson and Madonna looked like pop royalty united. 2 of the biggest stars alive, arm in arm at the 1991 Academy Awards. Behind the smiles, though, both were measuring each other's spotlight. The alliance didn't last. In interviews, Madonna made jokes about Michael being a little shy and needing to loosen up. Michael didn't take kindly to being teased. Friends later said he called her rude and unladylike, especially after she publicly criticized his lifestyle.
The girl is dangerous.
Their differences went beyond personality. Michael chased perfection and mystery. Madonna thrived on provocation and control. When she claimed she was the queen and he was the king, Michael privately scoffed, saying, "She's no queen of mine." After his death, Madonna's tribute was heartfelt, even tearful, calling him one of the greatest artists the world has ever known. It showed how strange fame can be. 2 icons locked in competition, yet tethered by mutual loneliness. The public saw rivalry. The truth was envy wrapped in mirror glass.
The Austin Bulls, I'm the super villain, dad and mom was losing their marbles.
You won't believe who's coming up at number 4. By 2004, Michael Jackson's reputation was fragile, and Eminem, hip-hop's reigning shock poet, decided to use him as a punchline. In Just Lose It, Eminem mocked Jackson's appearance, court cases, and plastic surgeries. For a man already under siege by tabloids, it felt like a dagger.
To do something like that was pretty painful as an artist to another artist.
Jackson called into a radio show soon after, saying calmly but firmly, "I've always admired Eminem's talent. I just don't appreciate being used this way." His restraint was almost unsettling, but behind closed doors he was furious. Then came the quiet revenge. Through his stake in Sony/ATV, Jackson gained ownership of the very songs Eminem had released, including Just Lose It. The man he mocked ended up owning his music. Cold, poetic justice. Eminem later apologized publicly, saying he never meant real harm. Whether Michael ever accepted it, we'll never know. But the business move said enough. Jackson didn't shout. He just bought your catalog. Number 3 is Paul McCartney. It started as friendship. In the early 80s, Michael and Paul McCartney recorded Say, Say, Say and The Girl Is Mine. They joked on set, shared dinner, and spoke about owning publishing rights, a topic that would come back to haunt them both.
And I heard that Holland is one of the few countries where you're going to do some promotion.
Paul had told Michael, "You should invest in songs. The real money's in the catalog." Not long after, Jackson took that advice to heart and bought ATV Music, which included the Beatles' entire publishing rights. McCartney thought it was a prank. Then he realized Michael had actually done it.
You should get into publishing.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
I love the irony.
And he bought all your songs.
Yeah.
When McCartney asked for a better royalty deal later, Jackson reportedly brushed it off with a laugh. "It's just business, Paul." Their friendship froze overnight. McCartney felt betrayed. Jackson felt he was just playing the game smarter. Years later, McCartney softened, calling Michael a lovely man with incredible talent. But the wound lingered. It wasn't hatred born of malice. It was the kind of bitterness that only money and pride can breed. Sony Music/Tommy Mottola falls in number 2.
Really do conspire against their artists. They steal, they cheat, they do whatever they can.
Few things angered Michael Jackson like betrayal from the business side. In 2002, during a fiery speech in Harlem, he turned on the man who'd once run his label. Tommy Mottola, head of Sony Music. Jackson accused him of exploitation, calling him mean and the devil. The outburst shocked the industry. For decades, Michael had been Sony's golden goose, delivering billions in revenue. Now he was accusing them of trying to sabotage Invincible and steal his creative freedom. Insiders claimed he felt cornered. The label wanted control, and he wanted independence. Mottola stayed silent publicly, but privately, the relationship was finished. To Jackson, Sony became a symbol of every system that tried to own him. Record labels, managers, even the press. It wasn't just business. It was war for his soul. By the time he broke ties with Sony, Michael wasn't just fighting a label. He was fighting an empire he helped build. It left him richer in principle, poorer in peace. The rivalry between father and son did not jump Jackson. Number 1 on my list is Joseph Jackson, his father. Behind every legend is the person who pushed them there. And for Michael, that was his father, Joseph Jackson. A man of discipline, ambition, and cruelty. From childhood, Joseph demanded perfection, sometimes with words, sometimes with fists.
Practiced us with a belt in his hand, and if you miss a step...
Michael rarely spoke about him, but when he did, it was heavy. In 1993, he told Oprah Winfrey he'd vomit at the sound of his father's footsteps. Decades of fame couldn't erase that fear. Still, he never stopped seeking approval. When Joseph appeared at later concerts or interviews, Michael smiled, carefully, dutifully. Even as an adult, he looked like a child trying to please his teacher. By the end of his life, Michael had forgiven publicly, but the pain was written into every lyric about loneliness, control, and love. It's cruel irony. The man who made him famous was also the first name on the list he could never forget. The King of Pop changed music forever and carried the weight of it until the end. For all the rumors and rivalries, what remains is the art, the impossible precision, the childlike wonder, and the ache of someone who gave everything for applause. Some say he hated these people, maybe, but more likely, he hated what they represented: betrayal, imitation, control. The world saw a perfectionist. Inside was a man who never stopped chasing peace. 6 rivals, 1 legend, and a legacy too large for love or hate to define.